Okay, next we want to discuss the history of AI. So, how AI reaches the present state, starting from the initial state. So, if you consider AI, the roots of AI lies in the below fields. Okay, so mm, it is used in it uses the concept of philosophy, it uses the concept of mathematics, it uses the concept of computation, it uses psychology or cognitive science, biology, neuroscience, and evolution. So, these are AI uses these disciplines. Okay, it is not only computer science; it uses various disciplines for solving the problems, as I told in the previous. Okay, here AI uses these disciplines. Okay, so not that one. And next we will discuss various how, which are the different philosophies, etc. Okay, and it's not a very important. Just not this one. In the 400 BC, Socrates asked for an algorithm using vanity from non-vanity. Okay, these are the very old. They just start from BCs. Okay, okay, just started. These are the old philosophies. Okay. Just mentioned in 1596, 1596 to 1650. Rene Descartes' idea of mind-body dualism, part of the mind exempt from physicalism. So it's another important thing happened, mind-body dualism. Then in 1646 to 1716, uh, William William Epstein, and these are just you go through it, and it's not very important. The philosophy, then in the logic and mathematics, one of the important thing is the idea of probability. Okay, where Stanford's logic demonstrator was a machine that was able to solve syllogism, numerical problems in a logical form, and elementary questions of probability. This is one of the important things. In the logic or mathematics, one of the important milestone is the invention of a machine that was able to solve syllogism, numerical problems in a logical form. Okay, and elementary questions of probability. And in 1850, 1815 to 1864, George Boole introduced his formal language for making logical integration. It's called Boolean algebra. So this is introduced by George Boole. Okay, Boolean algebra is introduced in 1847, and these are all in the 18th century. Okay, then Fudge introduced a logic that is essentially the first order logic. Then another concept introduces is first order logic that forms today the forms of basic knowledge representation system. Still, AI uses first order logic as the no, used for representing the knowledge. Okay, so this is another important milestone. Okay, first order logic is introduced. Then incompleteness theorem. Okay, in this year's uh, incompleteness theorem is introduced, that in any formal logic powerful enough to describe the properties of matter, there are true statements whose truth cannot be established by an algorithm. So, incompleteness theorem is introduced by Kurt. Okay, in this era. Then, and the last non-computable capabilities is introduced by Roger in 1995, proved the human mind has non-computable capabilities. Okay. Then we are going to the computation. In the computation field, uh, William Jovens in 1869, William Jovens' logic machine could handle Boolean algebra and Venn diagram and was able to solve logical problems faster than human beings. Then Alan Turing tried to characterize exactly which functions are capable of being computed. Unfortunately, it is difficult to give the notation of computation of the formulation. However, the church Turing thesis, which states that a Turing machine is capable of computing many computable functions, is generally accepted as providing a sufficient definition. So, in this, Alan Turing is one of the important scientists in computer field, and he introduced the concept of uh, Turing machine in this year. Okay. Then John von Neumann proposed the John von Neumann architecture. Okay, it is proposed by John von Neumann, and the nowadays still we are using all the systems are based on John von Neumann architecture. This is introduced. Then another two important concepts are the intraceability and reduction. These two concepts are introduced in 1960s. Then modern psychology, cognitive science is the science which study how mind operates, how we behave, and how our brain process information. Language is an important part of the human intelligence. Much of the early work on the knowledge representation are tied to language and informed by research into linguistics. Okay, so uh, then biology or neuroscience and evolution. These are all the then doing a biology or neuroscience. It is the in this we just studied what is our brain, how the brain are made up and it's made up of tens of billions of neurons, each connected to hundreds of thousands of them. Each neuron is simple percentages. So a study of various biological activities and neuroscience happened. Then based on that, some AI systems are developed, like neural networks, which you know what is an artificial neural network. Then last evolution. Charles Darwin introduced the concept of evolution based on that genetic algorithm, etc. developed. Okay. So these are the various milestones in the history of AI. So basically, first one is the philosophy, then Boolean algebra. In the logic or mathematics, some different laws are introduced, like Boolean algebra, then first order logic, then incompleteness theorem. Okay, this person invented a machine and that was able to solve syllogism numerical problems in a logic. These are all the important uh, events happened. Okay, so and in 1995, human mind has non-computable capabilities. Then in the computation area, uh, logic machine could handle Boolean algebra and Venn diagram. It was developed by William Jovens in 1869, and then Alan Turing developed Turing theorem, and you know what is Turing machine. Okay. Okay, he introduced that concept. Then John von Neumann introduced the John von Neumann architecture. Still, the systems are using this architecture. Then intraceability and reduction. Okay, these concepts are introduced. Then modern psychology. Various research are happened in this area, and it also contributed to um, a lot of things to the AI. Then biology or neuroscience is used in AI. A lot of important uh, Scientific experiments is performed in this area, biological and neuroscience, which is used now in the area. For example, neural network, connectionism of neural network, artificial neural network, etc. Then the last evolution, based on the Charles Darwin evolution, uh, genetic algorithm, etc. concept is introduced. For example, a related field is called genetic programming, had some success in developing program rather than programming. So this is the history of AI. Okay.